The Brady Bunch was the family sitcom that once made millions of Americans feel safe at home. A bright house, 6 children, 2 loving parents, Alice in the kitchen, and a theme song so familiar that many fans can still hear it more than half a century later. But behind that perfect Brady house were real lives the audience never fully saw. Robert Reed was far more complex than the calm father he played. Florence Henderson carried warmth from a life that had not always been easy. The Brady kids grew up under a spotlight that never completely let them go. And some of the actors who made that house feel so warm are no longer with us. So what really happened after the show ended? Today, we are looking back at the Brady Bunch cast then and now, where they are in 2026, who stepped away from Hollywood, who rebuilt a quieter life, and why this show still feels like a piece of childhood after 56 years. No false rumors, no exaggerated drama, just the real journey of the actors and actresses who made the Brady house feel like part of our own family. Stay until the end, because the answer is not just where they are now. It is why so many fans still feel something the moment they hear those words. Here's the story. Florence Henderson was born on February 14, 1934, in Dale, Indiana, the youngest of 10 children. Long before she became the gentle mother of the Brady house, she knew a life far less perfect than the one millions later saw on television. When she was 35 years old, she stepped into the role that would follow her forever. Carol Brady was warm, intelligent, graceful, and steady. From 1969 to 1974, she became the calm center of a blended family with 6 children, a housekeeper named Alice, and a home where every problem seemed to find an answer before the credits rolled. But behind that bright image was a woman who had known hardship. Florence grew up in poverty, in a large family where life was not always gentle. She later spoke about painful memories from her childhood, emotional wounds, and struggles that stayed with her long after she became famous. Those wounds did not make her weaker, they made her performance deeper. Maybe that is why Carol Brady felt so warm to so many people watching from home. Florence understood what comfort meant because she had lived without enough of it. Before the Brady Bunch, Florence was already a serious performer. She had starred on Broadway in Fanny, became the first woman to guest host The Tonight Show, and built a career that reached far beyond one sitcom. After the Brady years, she remained a familiar face across American television. She appeared in reunions, hosted programs, met fans, and carried the Brady legacy with the same warmth people remembered from Carol. Florence Henderson passed away on November 24, 2016, at the age of 82, only days after supporting Maureen McCormick, her TV daughter Marcia, during Dancing with the Stars. For Brady fans, it felt personal, because Carol Brady was never just a role. She was the mother in the grid, the smile in the kitchen, and the voice of a softer television world. Robert Reed was born on October 19, 1932, in Highland Park, Illinois. When he became Mike Brady in 1969, he gave American television one of its most familiar fathers. Mike Brady was calm, wise, and steady. He was the architect who guided 6 children through small problems, family lessons, and the everyday troubles of the Brady household. But behind that perfect TV father was a man living a much more complicated life. Robert Reed was not a lightweight sitcom actor. He loved theater, Shakespeare, and roles with emotional depth. Before the Brady Bunch, he had already earned respect in dramatic television through shows like The Defenders. That is why the Brady Bunch created such a painful conflict for him. The public loved Mike Brady. But Robert often struggled with the scripts. He wanted logic. He wanted truth. He wanted scenes to make sense. even inside a family sitcom built to feel simple and safe. At times, he clashed with producers. He even refused to appear in the final episode because he believed the storyline was too unrealistic. And yet, this is the part that matters most. Robert Reed may have disliked many of the scripts, but he loved the cast. The young actors remembered him as a real father figure off-screen. He encouraged them, challenged them, and treated them like serious people, not just child stars inside a television machine. His private life was not easy. Robert Reed was a gay man in a time when Hollywood did not allow men like him to live openly, especially not while playing America's perfect TV dad. And because many online stories have repeated this incorrectly, let's say it clearly. Robert Reed had been married earlier in life, and he had a daughter named Karen. He passed away on May 12, 1992, at the age of 59. His death was connected to colon cancer, and it was later revealed that he had also been HIV positive. But Robert Reed should not be remembered only through sadness. He was Mike Brady, yes, but he was also a disciplined actor, a teacher, a protector of the young cast, and a man who carried more than the audience ever knew. Anne Bradford Davis was born on May 3, 1926, in Schenectady, New York. By the time she joined the Brady Bunch in 1969, she was already an Emmy-winning actress, known for her sharp comic timing on The Bob Cummings Show. But to millions of Brady fans, she became simply Alice. Alice was not one of the parents. She was not one of the 6 children. But somehow she made the Brady house feel complete. With her blue uniform, quick jokes, warm smile, and perfect timing, Alice Nelson became the heart of the kitchen. She was the one who heard everything, noticed everything, and somehow knew when the family needed a laugh. After the Brady Bunch, Anne returned for reunions and special projects, but gradually stepped away from Hollywood and chose a quieter, spiritual life. She passed away on June 1, 2014, at the age of 88, after a sudden fall at her home in San Antonio, Texas. For fans, losing Alice felt like losing someone who had always been in the next room. She was the sound of the Brady kitchen, the joke that softened the lesson, and the steady presence that made the family feel real. Barry Williams was born on September 30, 1954, in Santa Monica, California. In 1969, at just 15 years old, he became Greg Brady, the oldest son in the Brady household. Greg was confident, musical, charming, and just a little too sure of himself, the way many teenage boys were back then. With his smile, his hair, and his easy 1970s style, Greg Brady became the big brother many viewers either had, wanted, or remembered from their own family. But behind that familiar image was a young actor trying to grow up while America kept seeing him as Greg. After the Brady Bunch ended, Barry faced a problem many child actors know too well. People loved Greg Brady so much that it became hard for them to see Barry Williams behind the role. He moved forward through music, theater, writing, and live performance. Over time, he stopped fighting the Brady past and learned how to carry it with pride. In 2026, Barry Williams is still active, still performing, and still connected to classic TV fans. Greg Brady may always be part of him, but Barry turned that memory into a stage instead of a cage. Maureen McCormick was born on August 5, 1956, in Los Angeles, California. When she was only 13 years old, she became Marcia Brady, the oldest daughter in the Brady family. Marcia was pretty, popular, confident, and almost impossible for viewers to forget. She was the girl with the perfect hair, the bright smile, and the kind of teenage life that looked easy from the outside. But behind that bright image was a young actress, carrying pressure few viewers could see. After the Brady Bunch ended, Maureen struggled to escape the shadow of Marcia. Hollywood still saw the perfect Brady girl, while Maureen was trying to grow into a real adult with real pain and real doubts. She later spoke openly about addiction, depression, and the long road back to herself. Those years were difficult, but her story did not end there. In 1985, Maureen married Michael Cummings, and that relationship became a turning point in her life. With family, treatment, faith, and time, she began to rebuild. She later wrote her memoir, Here's the Story: Surviving Marcia Brady and Finding My True Voice, giving fans a more honest look at the woman behind the famous smile. Fans still remember Jan saying, "Marcia, Marcia, Marcia." They remember the football scene. They remember Marcia crying, "Oh, my nose." Those moments made her unforgettable. But Maureen McCormick's real legacy is bigger than one perfect TV image. In 2026, she lives with the Brady legacy as a woman who found her own voice beyond Marcia. Christopher Knight was born on November 7, 1957, in New York City. In 1969, just before turning 12, he joined the Brady Bunch as Peter Brady, the middle son of the family. Peter was awkward, funny, curious, and often unsure of where he fit. That was why so many fans loved him. He was not the confident oldest son like Greg, and he was not the youngest boy like Bobby. Peter lived somewhere in between, trying to be noticed and trying to grow up inside a house where everyone seemed to have a place. And then came one of the most unforgettable lines in classic TV: pork chops and applesauce. It was simple, it was silly, but for Brady fans, it became a memory that never really faded. One line, one voice, one old episode. And suddenly viewers are back in the 1970s, sitting in front of the television and laughing with their family. Christopher later stepped away from Hollywood and built a very different life in technology, business, and furniture. He did not stay frozen as Peter. He reinvented himself, then returned to the Brady world on his own terms, through reunions, podcasts, and a very Brady renovation. Before we go on, tell us in the comments, do you still remember Peter Brady saying pork chops and applesauce? Or is there another Brady moment that instantly takes you back to your childhood living room? Eve Plumb was born on April 29, 1958, in Burbank, California. She was only 11 years old when she became Jan Brady, the middle daughter in America's most famous blended television family. Jan was the girl in the middle, trying to be noticed between Marcia and Cindy. That is why so many viewers understood her. When she finally cried, "Marcia, Marcia, Marcia," it was funny, but it was also honest. Every family has someone who feels unseen, and Jan Brady gave that feeling a voice. After the Brady Bunch, Eve chose a quieter and more independent path. She took on more serious roles, protected her privacy, and refused to be trapped forever inside Jan's shadow. In 2026, Eve Plumb continues to live more privately as an actress and artist. For fans, Jan remains unforgettable because she touched a simple feeling many people carried quietly: the wish to be seen, not compared. Susan Olsen was born on August 14, 1961, in Santa Monica, California. She was not even 8 years old when she became Cindy Brady, the youngest daughter in the Brady Bunch. Cindy was the little girl in curls, with the sweet face, the innocent voice, and the famous lisp. But being the youngest, Brady also meant growing up in front of millions of people. As Susan grew older, she had to live with a role that followed her everywhere. Like many child actors, she had to discover who she was after the world had already decided who she should be. She eventually stepped away from acting, explored art, radio, advocacy, and later worked with young performers. One lesson she shared was simple: fame should never be the goal. Good work should be the goal. And because some stories online have created confusion, let's say this clearly and respectfully. Susan Olsen is still here, living a real adult life after playing one of television's most recognizable little sisters. For fans, Cindy Brady still carries the memory of childhood itself, when television felt safer and the youngest one in curls could make a whole room smile. Before we move to the final Brady brother, tell us in the comments, did you grow up feeling more like Jan, Cindy, Bobby, or Peter? Sometimes the character we remember most is the one who quietly felt the most like us. Michael Paul Lookinland was born on December 19, 1960. He was only 8 years old when he became Bobby Brady, the youngest son in the family. Bobby was curious, playful, and always trying to prove he was big enough to keep up with his older brothers. But behind Bobby was a real child, working inside a television world built to look perfect. Even his hair had to be dyed darker to match his TV brothers, and under the hot studio lights, the dye could sometimes run down his face. After the show ended, Mike stepped away from the spotlight. He worked behind the camera, faced personal struggles, chose sobriety, and built a quieter life in Utah. Bobby Brady may always be the little boy in the reruns, but Mike's real story is about growing up, stepping away, and finding peace outside fame. Alan Melvin was born on February 18, 1923, in Kansas City, Missouri. On The Brady Bunch, he played Sam Franklin, better known as Sam the Butcher. Sam was Alice Nelson's boyfriend, and he brought old-fashioned romance, humor, and everyday warmth into the Brady world. He was not in every episode, but his presence mattered. Whenever Sam was mentioned, Alice's life felt bigger than the kitchen. Alan Melvin also had a long career beyond the Brady house, including All in the Family, Archie Bunker's Place, and voice work as Magilla Gorilla. He passed away on January 17, 2008, at the age of 84. For Brady fans, Sam the Butcher remains a small but warm piece of the memory. Sometimes a character does not need many scenes to stay in people's hearts.